Hello, everybody. My name's Jesse, and welcome to Questionable Sports. It is Thursday. I hope y'all are ready. It is Thirsty Thursday at that. I'm not drinking today. I am on call, so I cannot drink. But it's all gravy. I could drink some water. That's what I'm drinking. I hope y'all doing all right. I look a little. Let me turn that light up. What's going on, Tyler G? Dallas suck. You suck. How about that? How about that? You suck. Look a little white there. I gotta fix the light. I'll fix that next time. I ain't got time to fix it right now. I hope y'all doing having a good Thursday. I'm having a really good Thursday. Let's go on and get started. Let's start talking about what we're gonna talk about today. Hold on. I hate when that's up. There we go. All right, welcome back. We're gonna do some sports news. Just gonna go around the sports a little bit, not too much. What to watch? We're gonna do a little fantasy football talk. I like to talk a little bit of fantasy football. See what y'all think. Tell you what I know. I don't know a lot. I've only won a championship maybe once or twice, and I've been running it for like I'm a commissioner in a fantasy football league, so I've only been doing it for about 15 years, and I only won about twice. Question of the day: put a shot on it. My favorite segment. I still owe y'all three, but I can't do again. I'm not drinking. I'm on call, so I can't drink. Important dates, and of course, this is my show, so I have the last word. So let's get started with sports news. Didn't take one Dallas player in hockey. You didn't take one in your hockey draft. You didn't take a Stars player. That's messed up. They're gonna win the Stanley Cup this year. Everybody knows this. Everybody. Apparently not you. You probably took all like Toronto Leafs and stuff like that. That's probably who you took. The Islanders or the Flyers. Hey mom, how you doing? My day is going great. I hope yours is going as well. But let's talk about some sports news. Let's talk about what's going on in the sports world. Take a picture. Okay. Uh there's a game tonight, NFL game, 49ers versus the Rams. Purdy, Pearsall, and Jennings are out. That's damn near that's their whole offense. I mean, they still got McCaffrey, but damn, um that's a lot. That is a lot. You took Toronto and Florida players. Hey, they're both good. Florida's they've been playing good. That's good, mom. Glad you are being everything's going good with you. Hope you took your medicine. All right, I don't know if it's your medicine time yet or not, but yeah, that's a lot for the 49ers. And you know what's crazy with Purdy? Ever since he's got that contract, he has been nothing but hurt, and it sucks because you don't want um, your quarterback that you just signed to an extension always getting hurt. But that's what it seems like it always happens with players. Once they get that big contract, and I'm not saying they're doing it on purpose, but you know, they get hurt, they get paid, they get hurt, and they ain't playing. That kind of sucks. Um, but yeah, Pearsall and Jennings are both receivers, so that's their whole offense. Uh, Ayuk, who's their other receiver, he's already been out. He hasn't been playing at all this season. So, and he they just paid him. They just paid him, and he's already out. That's I ain't gonna say that once they get paid they get hurt, but there's a lot of trends going on lately. A lot of trends. They get paid and they go out. They haven't played in a long time. Other news in NFL: Gabriel Dillon is going to be starting for the Browns this week. They're benching Flacco, but he's Flacco's going to go to number 2 receiver. Sanders is still going to be a number 3 receiver on the depth chart. So, just to give y'all a heads up, Sanders is not. I doubt he's going to play in the next couple of weeks. I think they're doing everything they can to keep him on the wraps. I don't think the Browns. I'm not going to sit there and say the Browns are trying to sabotage him or whatsoever. There's got to be a reason why he's not playing, and he may not be that good as we thought he was. As good as I thought he was. He's made some comments already about he's ready. He could play any other team, start on any other team. He's also said this past week, he said they interviewed him and after they made Gabriel Dillon the quarterback. He stayed silent. He didn't say much in the interviews. Um, Maybe he's a little butthurt. I don't know, but uh, we'll see. It sucks, but oh, I was telling you I had that stars thing on Tuesday, and I kept saying stars scored. Look, it's not working. Work, I tell you, work. There it goes. Yeah, I told you I had it. Have you ever been to a Stars game? That's what they do when the Stars score. I'm not sure how loud that is. Let me know if that's too loud and you can't hear me while I'm trying to talk over it. Okay, we'll turn that off. I also got the Rangers when they hit a home run. That one might be loud. Turn that down. So have you ever been? This is actually that's kind of the older one. I think the newer one is a little high, a little quicker. Thank you, Mom. I think the newer one they have is kind of quicker. So, and then when they win, but we'll quit that. Anyways, but yeah. So that's what's going on in the Browns organization. That's organization's all kind of fucked up anyway. So I don't know. Other news. Let's see. So in college football, they have. I always say this, and you're always going to hear me say this all the time. I don't talk politics. I don't talk religion. All I talk is just sports. I mean, we could talk gaming. We could talk all kinds of sports. I could debate all day with you with sports, all day. But this weekend, Army and Navy game is still going to go on despite the shutdown. I know there's a shutdown going on in the government. I don't know anything about it. I don't pay attention to politics, so don't ask me questions about any of that. I just know Air Force and Army game was one of the games that they were sure if it was going to get played this weekend because of the despite the shutdown, but it's a go. So Army and Navy are going to be playing this weekend, this Saturday. So, and that's a fun game to watch. I think all military game when Air Force plays Army Navy game that's the game you don't want to see because when you have the Army Navy game, that's basically the end of the regular season. That's it for college football. Well, until the playoff starts, are the bowl games, but that just tells you, hey, season's over with. Give me 1 second, real quick. All right, I turned that light away, making me look like I was really, really, really light skinned, and I'm not really, really light skinned. So, anyways, so yeah, we don't. When we get to that point, we're gonna be like, oh, Army Navy game. Hopefully, I'll watch it. It's gonna be a great game. It's always a tradition to watch that game. But then it's still bittersweet because you're like, but that means this ends of the college football season. It's not gonna be the same. We're gonna only have a couple of games going on a week instead of having a whole all day type thing of college football. But I mean, it is what it is. I think that if we had college football all the time, it wouldn't have the same anticipation that it is when we do finally get it back and they start playing again. The excitement, the build up, and all that good stuff. So, in other news, NBA Kobe's first jersey, number 24 jersey, sold for $889,000, almost $1 million for his jersey. That's crazy. Kobe may he rest in peace. He was a good player. I mean, I know a lot of y'all watched him. I watched him play growing up. I've never actually Kobe's probably one of the players I never not liked. Like I've always liked him. Like I watched MJ and I didn't like MJ because he was so damn good. And every time he come to play the Mavs, I was a big Mavs fan. Or I still am a big Mavs fan. Every time they played the Mavs, he would always whoop Mavs ass, and it was always disappointing. I was always mad. I do remember one game I remember staying up late, watching the Mavs play the Bulls, and they ended up beating them on, who was it? Jamal Mashburn? I think it was Jamal Mashburn. Corner three to beat them. It was crazy. I remember that game. Late at night, because So the game played on early, and I was working, so I kept out of. I mean, back then we didn't have all cell phones and all this kind of stuff. So I watch all my news on ESPN. So I just kept away from ESPN because I wanted to go home, watch the game because they re-showed the game at 12 o'clock at night. So it's like 2 o'clock in the morning, and I'm all hyped up in my room because the Mavs are beat the Bulls, even though it's already happened. But haven't seen the game. Uh, but yeah, but Kobe was one of the players I just never, I liked him. I just always said he was a great player. But yeah, his jersey sold for $889,000, almost $1 million. Mavs news: Gafford, the center, he's out for 2 to 3 weeks with a sprained ankle, which is not too bad. What did I eat? I had Vienna sausages and a banana. I haven't eaten nothing. After this, I'm probably gonna make a sandwich, a ham sandwich or a turkey sandwich. Eat me a turkey sandwich. But he's out for 2 to 3 weeks with a sprained ankle, which is not too bad. I know the basketball season at that time hasn't started yet. Basketball starts the 22nd, I believe, for the Mavs. So he'll be back before then, a week before the season starts. So not too worried about it. Gafford, stop rolling your ankle, stop spraining your ankle, because I really want to see what this team looks like when they're healthy. They're not going to be fully healthy because Kyrie Irving's still going to be out. He'll probably be out to about, they say January is his timeline to return. But if I was the Mavs, I'm just like, hey, just play it slow, wait until after the All-Star break, get going, then can get going, get rolling. But that's just me. I'm a fan talking about what I wish would happen. So, but that's all I got for sports news. Nothing really going on in hockey. You see hockey's playing. NBA started their preseason as well this week. Mavs play on Monday. So you're eating McDonald's chicken nuggets. Whoop, whoop. McDonald's chicken nuggets. Hey, I'm not getting sponsored by them, so I'm not going to say whoop, whoop. But if I was, I would say whoop, whoop. But yeah, so that's the only thing going on. Like I said, hockey hasn't really gone on. I told y'all about Jamie Benn having a collapsed lung. He's out for at least 2 to 3 months. He'll be back probably by December. So he had everything was fine. He just got hit in the chest, and of course, when your lungs collapse, it's, from what I hear, it's a really painful thing, but it's not a serious thing as long as they take care of it quickly. So, but moving right along, it's time for what to watch. What to watch? What to watch? Where's Scotty? Oh yeah, Scotty will be joining me today. He's going to be joining a little late. I forgot to say that. It's because Scotty don't have a topic today. He said he don't have one today. But he still will be joining. What to watch? What to watch at NFL? Whoop whoop. There is some. I'll look it up right now because I don't have it on there. But there is some baseball going on. So for all you baseball fans out there, I don't want y'all to think I'm discriminating against y'all. I don't discriminate. Right now, Boston's playing the Yankees. It's 0-0, top of the first. So it just started. The Detroit Tigers beat the Guardians 6-3. They're moving on to the next round. The first wild cards are the best of three. Then they move on to the to the actual playoffs. Cubs beat the Padres 3-1. They moved on to the next round of the playoffs. So that's all that's going on right now. And baseball. But if you have any questions about baseball, be sure to ask. I will do my best to answer it. If I'm wrong, I don't give a shit. Because this is my show and I can be wrong all I want. NFL news. Cowboys, or not NFL news. What to watch this weekend. Cowboys versus the Jets. Let's go, Cowboys. Whoop, whoop. I don't have my here we go. I don't remember which one it is. Not that one. Not that one.
Here we go.
It's that one.
Here we go.
Here we go. Let's do it. Cowboys versus the Jets. The Jets are 0-4. Well, since we're on this topic, let's go and talk a little bit about the Cowboys and Jets game. There's a few questions I'm asking myself. So this is Question of Sports. I'm gonna ask y'all the question as well. Y'all tell me in chat what y'all think. I'm gonna tell you what I think. But can the Cowboys win? That's the first question. That's the main question, really. Can the Cowboys beat the Jets? The answer is yes. But are they going to beat the Jets? The answer is I don't fucking know. And the reason, excuse my language, Emma, don't cuss. is because we talked about how they were like, oh, they should beat the Giants. It should be an easy win. The Giants are not that good of a team, and this, and that. And it was an emotional roller coaster. Yes, they did win, but I felt like they played down to the Giants a little bit. Nothing against the Giants. I'm not trying to say they're bad. If Scott was here, he'd probably cuss me out. But nothing to say about the Giants, but they had no defense. They had no rush. They had no their quarterback was not great. His best game was against the Cowboys. Russell Wilson was his best game was against the Cowboys. And other than that, all the other games he had was terrible, and they benched him. Now they got the backup in. Okay, now we have the Packers last week where the offense looks incredible. Defense still looks like trash. Now, is this defense going to – now that's the next question. Can this defense get on track this weekend against the Jets? Their leading passer is Fields. I think he has like 471 yards when I was looking up some stuff earlier. He has only 400 yards passing. Yes, he missed the game because he was in concussion protocol. But Dak already has 1,100 yards passing, and Cowboys offense is ranked number 1. Cowboys defense is ranked 32. We got to find a fine ground. The head coach, Schottenheimer, has to do something about the offense. I know he's a offensive-minded coach. He's a play caller, but he's also the head coach as well. So he has to figure something. He has to get in the coach's ass. I remember when I played football in high school, the head coach was always, if the other team would score or get a big play, he was in the defensive coordinator's ass, just yelling at him. Just do something about it. Fix it. Or, I know it's NFL and they have mutual respect. They're all grown men, and I get it. And but yeah, he has to, get them in, sit them down. I mean, just like you do with players when they're not doing right, sit them down, talk to them, figure some shit out. But yeah, so can the defense get on track? I hope so. The Cowboys defense, if it's the same Jets offense as they've been having, the Cowboys defense is going to look like they improved a lot. I'm not gonna jump on that bandwagon yet. If they can hold the Jets to 20 points, people are gonna be like, oh, the Cowboys defense look better. Well, it's the Jets offense is not that great. So I'm not gonna be sitting there saying, oh yeah, Cowboys are so great. Now, if they make an interception, cause a fumble, I'm gonna cheer for them. Hell yeah, I'm gonna cheer for them. But I'm not gonna sit there and say Cowboys defense is back. Not yet. Who we need is Overshown. God, I can't wait for Overshown to come back. Our linebackers have not been great. And there was a play, and I was talking. Me and my wife were watching the game against the Packers, and I was like, babe, how did the defensive tackle beat a linebacker to the tackle? The play was to the outside. Linebacker was not blocked. The defensive lineman was blocked because he was trying to go up the field. Got off the block, ran down the sideline, or down the to the sideline because that's where the running back was running to, and made the tackle. Like, how does a defensive lineman beat a linebacker that's not even getting blocked? That just kind of blew my mind. I was telling my wife, like, how does that happen? That shouldn't happen. The linebacker should always be the first one there, or at least be there, not trailing a defensive tackle. So yeah, that was our linebackers need some help. We need some help at linebacker. And I was excited because I thought Murray out of Oklahoma could be good or was gonna help out the Cowboys defense, but it hasn't really yet. You know what's crazy? I got my notes here, and I got Cowboys, and I got the record, and it's 1-2-1. I just can't stand that tie. I know we talked about it last week, but I just can't stand that tie. Other news, or not other news. Other question: can the O-line still be dominant? Dominant? Am I saying that right? I don't know. It don't sound right coming out of my mouth, but nothing does. Because you got to think about it. This Packers D line, and you know how they were talking about Micah and how they were gonna put all this pressure on Dak, and Giants D line is really good. They're gonna put a lot of pressure on Dak, and Eagles D line is really good. And they're gonna put pressure on Dak, and the offense is ranked number 1. They've been playing good. The Bears were the only ones they kind of, I don't know what was about with the Bears. Again, playing down. I feel like they're playing down to their competition a little bit with the Bears because the offense was struggling. Are they going to do that against the Jets and struggle? The offensive line going to struggle against the Jets, who don't have a very powerful offensive line? I don't know. I just feel like they I feel like they kind of their line has been playing down to competition, but when they have a good big game, they play up to the competition. They play great. So, but we'll see. Couple of players out. Of course, CD's out. Everybody knows that. But Hooker's out too with a toe injury. Nealon has an ankle. Turpin has a foot injury, and Miles Sanders has a ankle injury. They're all questionable. So there's a possibility of them playing. Again, when it comes to injury reports, when you hear injury reports, when it goes to questionable is the most likely going to play. Then it's doubtful, which is like 75% chance they may not play, and then out is 100% they're out. So whenever you hear that, that's what they mean. So other than that, I mean, I ain't got much else to say about the Cowboys and the Jets game. I just feel like Cowboys should win. If they can get this game and get the Carolina game next week, the record wouldn't look so bad. It'll be 3-2-1. But we can't play down to the competition. I'm not saying Cowboys are just great just yet, but I still don't think Jets and Carolina are any better. So, but moving right along, Vikings versus the Browns Sunday. That game's actually in London, so that's be on at 8:30 in the morning. So the past week, I didn't talk about this Tuesday. The past week, there was a game on. I can't remember who was playing, but they were playing in Dublin. And I was flipping the channel and I saw it on NFL Network, and I thought it was a rerun. And then my wife said, "Are you watching the game?" I was like, "What game?" And she was like, "There's a game on right now." And I was like, "What channel?" And she's like, "NFL Network." And I put it on NFL Network, like, "Show you." I told her I thought that was a rerun. I just solely skipped over it. But yes, this game, Vikings Browns, is in London. It's at 8:30 in the morning. It's on NFL Network if you have NFL Network. So hopefully you do. If you don't, I'm sorry. Giants Saints playing. Scotty's hoping the Giants can get another dub over the Saints, who's struggling. That's at 12 o'clock on CBS. Oh, Cowboys game is on 12 o'clock also out on Fox. Broncos Eagles could be a pretty good game Sunday at 12 o'clock on CBS. So I might not be watching that one because, of course, I'll be watching the Cowboys. Bucks versus Seahawks Sunday at 3 o'clock. I think that's going to be a good game as well. See if Bucks can bounce back. Seahawks been playing pretty well too. Pats versus Bills Sunday at 7:20 on NBC. That's the Sunday night game in Buffalo. So, Monday Night Football. Chiefs versus Jags, 7:15 on ABC. That should be a good one. Y'all get to see Travis Hunter, was the first overall pick in the draft. 49ers already scored a touchdown. 49ers scored. So, but moving right along, it's time for what I like watching the most, college football. That's why I have so much on here that you can see there's a bunch of games going on here. And these are games that I will actually literally have on TV watching. Like I'm just like, oh yeah, I'm gonna have this game on. Because when I look at my phone in the morning, I'm like, okay, I'm gonna have this. This game's gonna be in. Okay, I got it. Okay, so I plan out my whole 11 o'clock schedule. What games I'm gonna have on. But tomorrow night, there's a couple of games on tomorrow night, but none of them look real interesting. I'm not gonna say they're not gonna be interesting. I'm just saying that the Covenant are gonna be like one-sided a little bit. Nobody ranked. I can see I got kind of the rank. I missed some at the bottom down here. I didn't put the ones in the bottom at the Notre Dame because Texas Tech is ranked, Ohio State's ranked, Miami and Florida State are both ranked, and Texas A&M ranked. And I didn't put the ranks on there, but you see I put 23 BYU. They're playing West Virginia tomorrow at 9:30 on ESPN. There is a game before that. I just can't remember what it was, but it wasn't a great game. But if you want to just have it on while you're doing something else, have it on. But the West Virginia, while you're laying in bed, kick back, getting ready to go to bed, put on some West Virginia BYU on ESPN Friday night. Or you can just sit back with a drink, glass of whiskey, a Modelo, whatever you drink. I don't know what you drink. A martini, if you fancy like that. But starting Saturday, whoop, whoop, Baylor, Sick 'em Bears. They're playing Kansas State. That's Kansas State. I don't know why I just put Kansas. It's supposed to be Kansas State, not Kansas. Kansas State. At Baylor, 11 o'clock on ESPN Plus. So that means it's not on TV. If you have the ESPN Plus app, you can watch the game. So I have it, so I'll be watching it, of course. Texas at Florida. 2:30 ESPN. All you Longhorn fans, we're gonna find out how if Archie Manning is getting it together, because Florida, they're 1-3, but they're still not a bad team. They've just been struggling. Now, if Scotty was here, I'll ask Scotty, but he's not here right now. I'll ask y'all when he gets on. I'll ask him. But if Florida were to lose this game and go 1-4, would Napier, which is Florida's head coach, would they fire him? I mean, if you lose a game against Texas at home, let's say you lose. If you lose bad, I think, yeah, he might be gone. But if he loses a close game, would they fire him? Because he was on a hot seat at the beginning of the season, I believe, when we first started the season. I can go back through my notes. I don't want to go do that and have y'all sitting there looking at me, look through my notes. But could he be in a hot seat right now? Could he be if he loses to Texas this weekend? Could he get fired? That'd be crazy. I think he's a good coach. Don't get me wrong. But in Florida, they want you to win. They want you to win. That's Saturday, 2:30 on ESPN. Iowa State versus Cincy. Iowa State is ranked too. I didn't put their rank on there. They're playing Cincy, but this is going to be a good matchup because they're playing at Cincy, and they actually got Cincy favored right now by 1.5 points. But that's Saturday, 11 o'clock on ESPN 2. Cincy has not been a bad team. I've seen them play. I've seen Iowa State play. We saw them play in week 1 or week 0. We saw them play. So they're not a bad squad. They're a pretty good team. They're undefeated. They are ranked. I'm not sure. Can't remember what their rank is. But that should be a really good game to watch. If you're not watching Baylor, Kansas State, or Texas, Florida, you can always tune into Iowa State, Cincy. Now we're switching over to the 2:30 game slot. This is probably not the biggest game, but the game that I'm really intrigued into is the Vandy versus number 16 Vandy versus number 10 Alabama, 2:30 on ABC. Y'all remember on Tuesday, if you were here Tuesday, we were talking about Vandy and how I haven't seen no games yet, but I've been watching some of the highlights and how they've been winning some of their games. And I wrote down in my notes, watch Vandy game. Well, surprise, surprise, they're playing Alabama. Last year, at this same time last year, Alabama was ranked and Vandy was not. And guess what? Vandy upset Alabama at Vandy. So they stormed the field. Trust me, they stormed the field. So this game right here is probably the best game to watch the 2:30 slot. If you got nothing to do around 2:30, put it on ABC. This game is going to be fun to watch. I think Alabama's out for revenge. They just beat, but the question is, are they going to be riding the high of the Georgia game? They just got them knocking off their rival Georgia. You know, they're always Alabama, Georgia. Now they're playing a Vandy team who's ranked 16. Is Alabama going to be in a slump, be still in the high, weren't celebrating the Georgia game? Or are they going to come to play and take care of business against Vandy? So that's the question about that game. Boise State versus Notre Dame, always a good game. Again, like I always said, Notre Dame, always on NBC, 2:30. Every Saturday, you always, when I was younger, it was always Notre Dame on NBC. No matter if it was 2:30 or 6 o'clock or even at 11 o'clock in the morning, they were always on NBC. So I always watched the Notre Dame game. Notre Dame's ranked 21. It's crazy to see Notre Dame ranked 21. They're the only 2-loss team that's in the top 25. And the reason being, they lost to some good teams. They lost to some good teams, A&M and LSU. So 2 top, ranked teams. So that you can't, and they were close games. So it wasn't like they were blowouts. They were all close games. So don't sleep on Notre Dame just yet. Don't knock them out. Don't think that they're done for the season. I think, remember, they lost to that Northern Illinois team, a nobody team, and ended up going to the national championship game. So don't sleep on Notre Dame just yet. Washington, who just lost against Ohio State, but a really good game. Low scoring, actually, for Ohio State game. But Washington's playing against Maryland. Maryland is undefeated still. That game's at 2:30 on the Big Ten Network. Sometimes you got to search for the Big Ten Network. It's not just going to be there for you to find. But I think that's going to be a real fun game to watch, the Washington-Maryland game. So if y'all ain't got nothing to do, again, 2:30, that's the time they play. Michigan State versus Nebraska, another game that should be intriguing. That's on Fox Sports 1. So there's so many channels that have college football on there. and it's not just like games like this. They'll have some Division twos. They'll have like Grambling, Prairie View. Majority African American schools. So they'll have just small schools too, like North Texas, Texas State, um, just a bunch of little schools. UCLA, Cal, teams that don't get a lot of spotlight. There's a bunch of games on different channels: CBS, ABC, NBC, Fox, Fox Sports 1, ESPN, ESPN 1, not ESPN 1, ESPN 2, ESPNU. They have ESPNU. The U stands for university, if you didn't know. But moving right along, Texas Tech versus Houston, 6 o'clock. This is a big game. Both teams are undefeated. Tech is ranked. Houston is not. But if Houston can take care of business, which I doubt, against Texas Tech, because Texas Tech has been playing really well, and I hate saying that. But again, you just never know. Upsets happen all the time. 6 o'clock, ESPN. Minnesota, Ohio State, another good game. Some people who don't know college football may not say, because Ohio State's ranked number 1. Minnesota's not even ranked. They have 1 loss. But people are like, oh, it's not going to be a big game. But if you know college football, you know Minnesota always comes to play. Those are one of those scrappy teams that we tell you about all the time. Me and Scott says, like, hey, these are the teams that are always going to play you tough no matter what day of the week it is. Minnesota's one of them, and they always tend to give Ohio State trouble. Let me get something to drink because I am talking a lot. Excuse me. Let me go to chat, see if anybody say anything in chat. Y'all, thank you, Mom. Thank you. Thank you. But next game, the big one. This is probably the big one for all the college football fans out there. Is the Miami-Florida State game. Now the question is Florida State can bounce back? Can they bounce back to that game from that loss, that terrible loss to Virginia last week? And Miami, who had a bye, they're going to come into this Florida State stadium. I mean, this is another stadium that's pretty badass. I would love to go to Florida State to watch the game, to see them do the chop. I would love to see that, but I don't got that kind of money to do that. But that'd be so cool to go see. But that's another thing. If y'all want to watch the start of a game, that's one of the cool. They have one of the coolest thing where they ride the horse out there, and the chief goes out there and slams the spear into the center of the field. That was pretty badass too. So, but that game's at 6:30 on ABC. Both these teams are ranked. I think Scotty just joined.
Hey, what's up?
What's going on, Scotty? We got this for Scotty. It's the Kurt Angle theme song. I know you can't hear it, Scotty, but that's what's playing. You don't really suck, but I was like playing it when you come on. All right. But I'm talking about what to watch in the college football world. I got down to the Miami versus Florida State, 6:30 on ABC. That's the game of the week. That's the first game of the week. I already talked about the Vandy and Alabama game. There was something I was going to ask Scotty, y'all. Do y'all remember what it was? I said if Scotty was here, he would say this. But I can't remember what it was.
About the Alabama game?
No. It was about one of the games. I was like, I want to ask Scotty about this. Oh, I know what it was. So the Texas-Florida game, 2:30 Saturday on ESPN. I said, I wonder what Scotty thinks. I was like, if Florida were to lose, if they lose big, do you think they fire the coach? And then the question was, if they lose close, do you think they fire the coach? Or you think his job is safe at Florida?
I'm not sure. I know they would have to buy out his contract.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, of course.
I think it was like 60 million or something like that.
If it's 60 million, he's staying there.
I forget how much it is, but yeah, they would have to buy him out. Yeah. But I mean, if they get blown out, I mean, there's a possibility he might not be there.
Yeah. So I was like, I knew there was a question I was going to ask Scotty, but that's what it was. I did the Vandy, Alabama. I was sitting there saying about the Alabama game. Are they riding high in the Georgia game? Are they going to sit there and let this Vandy team come in here and whoop their ass like they did last year? Which they lost in Vandy, so that atmosphere was crazy. Imagine them storming the field.
Yeah.
So, I was talking about Minnesota, how Minnesota plays is one of them scrappy teams that play in Ohio State. And I think they're gonna.
Yeah.
I don't think they're gonna beat Ohio State, but don't be surprised if the game is close in the fourth quarter. Let's just say that.
Yeah. They could keep it close, but I don't think they don't have the offense to score. I
Yeah.
think it's gonna be a low scoring game.
Oh, really? So, do you think Ohio State's offense is struggling, or is their offense is just not that great?
I think they haven't gone full out yet because they really haven't had to.
Yeah. Yeah, they've
So
been.
I think when the point comes that they need to, I think
But
they'll be.
what you saying? What you saying that? Do you think they're treading dangerous waters? Because you don't want to sit there. I don't think you want to sit there because most of the time when you play weaker teams, you have to expose your dominance. Sometimes you gotta work on stuff that you wouldn't work on in practice because you don't know what it's going to look like in live action. You know what I'm saying? So you think that they're treading like, oh, now we need to put points up, but we haven't done this all season. You think they're treading
Um,
in hot water?
I don't think so.
Okay.
I mean, I think they got the rookie quarterback, so I don't
Yeah.
think they want to. I don't think they've 100% turned him loose yet and let him.
Yeah. Yeah.
But because now, um, in the past, the committee really hasn't rewarded big wins.
They really haven't. Only
But this year they did say they're going to reward close losses. So
oh,
that's why
that's why Notre Dame's
that's
still in
why,
there.
that's why Notre Dame's still in there with 2 losses because between both losses, I think it was a total of 4 points, and
Yeah.
it was
Was it
against
LSU and Texas A&M, right? They're both lost. They're two losses.
uh, not LSU, Miami,
Miami.
and A&M. Yeah,
Yeah. Okay. So I didn't have the
so
schedule.
two top 10 teams.
Yeah. And that's why I said you can't really get mad. And I was actually saying that they had two losses, and it's fun. It's crazy to see because they're the only team with two losses in the top 10.
Yeah,
I'm not top 10, but top 25. But their
yeah.
losses were close games, and they were against ranked teams. Um, Miami, Florida. Or I think I did that one. The last one, Mississippi State versus Texas A&M, 6:30 SEC Network. This is going to be fun just because they're both SEC teams. I think it could be a close game, but I think Texas A&M might pull this one out.
Yeah,
Like,
I think A&M will probably win this one. Yeah, I don't see them upsetting
yeah.
A&M.
My mom even said it right here. She said something about Florida. You're right, Mom. All right. Moving right along, we are going to talk a little bit not final. Fantasy football, Scott. I just want to talk a little bit. I have my. Do I have it up here?
I'm not the expert on this.
No, I just want to, just.
I'm not having a great year this year.
This is true.
Both of my quarterbacks are out, so I picked up Dart.
Oh,
Playing
Jackson
Dart this week.
Oh,
Yeah,
wow. I got Daniel Jones as my starting quarterback.
he's been balling. So
Yeah. So this is what a fantasy football lineup looks like. I know if y'all were here for the draft, this is my lineup. I got Daniel Jones, George Pickens. You get 2 receivers, 2 running backs, a tight end, and this is a flex player, which you could do a receiver, running back, or a tight end. And then you have your bench players, and then you have your kicker and your defense. 1 year, I did a defense and a defensive player. I did that 1 year, and nobody liked it, so I didn't do it again. But But there's so many different ways you can do this. This is just a traditional football league, a fantasy football league. They actually have a
Yeah.
PPR, which is points per some
Reception.
yeah
That's what my other league is. Now they have half PPRs too.
yeah, they have salary cap. Yeah. So this is the standings right here right now. I am in 4th place, and again, Scotty said he's in last.
Just
He's not
don't look
doing
at mine.
it. He's in last, but we do got one person who's 4-0. And look, I'm on a 3-game winning streak. I started 0-1, but I, making a little comeback. And it's just not. It's all about luck. I mean, you could put the like Scott's not I've said it before, not a dumb person. He's actually really smart. He knows the numbers, and I don't pay attention to numbers. I'm just like I like this guy. I'm picking him up. So, when I put my shots on it, it's all about me. How I feel about the team that's playing. If I don't like a team, I hope they lose, so I'm picking the other team. So, and if it was Scott would be like, well, their quarterback's not starting. I'm like, oh shit, well I didn't know that. but anyways, the fun thing about this, and I always say this when it comes to fantasy football, is it makes you watch games that you normally wouldn't watch, because you may have one player on there, or the person you're playing against may have somebody on there, and you're like, I hope he doesn't do good. I don't hope for them to get hurt. And I don't know why this isn't going. Something happened there. I'm trying to go to my team again. Oh, there it goes. So you just try to you got your bench players, and now it's going to start getting a little harder because you got bye weeks coming up. And as you can see, I have 3 players, which is week 5 this week. I have 3 players that are on bye. One of them is my running back, one of my best running backs. He's on bye. So that's what makes it a little harder, because now you got to sit there and like move people around. You may have to drop somebody to pick somebody else up just because you don't have enough players to cover your team on buys. But it makes it really fun. It makes you're always constantly, not always, but you're constantly checking your stats, seeing who's doing what, and how many points so and so got. Have you ever won, Scott, on our league?
Not your league. I think I got second
Second.
one year.
I know you won in your other league before.
Yeah.
Scott's in like 3 leagues. I'm in 2 leagues. I'm 3.
Only 2 of them are cash leagues.
Cash leagues. Yeah, so I've done the non-cash leagues. Like some of the ones were just random people, just to do them, and I never really pay attention to them because I'm like, it really doesn't make a difference. I don't know these people, so it's like if I beat them, I don't get satisfaction of it. Like when I beat you this past week, I was satisfied. But no, but seriously, it makes it fun. You got the shit talking, you got people, clowning each other, like like I said, just for the fun is the bantering, is as they would call it. So
yeah.
Any advice to anybody who's out there, Scott, that's trying to? I know you say you're not doing good, but you've done good in the past before. That what is your, like? I ain't gonna say secret. Don't tell me you ain't gotta tell me your secret strategy. But what is one thing that you always look for when you're drafting a player or looking to start a player?
One thing that I saw one time several years ago is when you're drafting, your first and second round picks, typically players who are teams that make the playoffs, their first 2 picks should score at least, I think it was almost like 50 or 60% of your points.
Oh damn!
Each week or something like that. So I try to. I mean, the first 2 rounds are the most important.
Yeah.
Third 2, but after that, it's
you trying to get
about
best available, or
getting
filling spots.
adding depth and then
Yeah.
finding those sleepers.
Sleep. Yeah, and that's the hardest thing is those sleepers. I mean, anybody could be like, "Oh, I think they're gonna have a good season," and then you know.
Yeah.
And we talked about this a couple of weeks ago. Remember, we had one Oscar ask us about a trade, and I said go for the sure thing. I said, if somebody's offering you actual cash money value, and it's basically the buy-in. They're offering you $100, and the buy-in is $100. That's a for sure thing because now you're saying because you only have there's 10 people, and his league is a money take off. So you only have 10% of a chance to win the whole thing. So now you're telling me, hey, I'm giving you your money back. So now you have no money involved in this, and I can still play fantasy football and still win the $1,000. Oh yeah, take that all day, every day. I mean, the person I'm trading, you don't know if they're going to get hurt. You don't know if they're just not going to pan out. And sure enough, what sucked was the person we were talking about was CeeDee Lamb. The next week, he rolled his ankle.
Yep.
So sometimes you just gotta be like, I know you want to win, but sometimes you gotta take the sure thing. That's what I say. I mean, I don't know what Scotty would have took the trade.
Yeah, for cash, probably. Yeah.
Yeah. So, but one thing that this happens a lot in a lot of leagues. I know it does. Is a lot of people will sit there and start when they're losing, they'll start getting rid of their best players. And I have it set so we can veto trades, but it's got to be majority rules has to be for it to be vetoed. And also I have it so Scotty, you better get your shit together. Last place has to pay for next year's buy-in. So the last place person has to pay for the next year's person's buy-in. So not only do they got to pay for themselves, then they got to pay for the first place buy-in. So first place don't have to even buy-in after winning money already. But that's so people who are in last place or who not having a good season won't sell their roster. So
yeah,
and we do have a trade deadline, which I need to post that, Scotty. I'm glad I said that. I think it's week 8. I need to look that up, but I'll look that up later on because I'm sharing my screen. I don't want people to know.
yeah. It's usually, I think it's usually around the trade deadline of the NFL. I believe it's.
Yeah. If I say week 8, I think that's when it is. So, but moving right along, the next thing we got going on is I don't forgot. Let's do
49ers are winning 7-0.
Yeah, they're about to score again.
Yeah.
The next thing we got going on is the question of the day. We're getting to the end. Dang, Scotty, getting to the end. All right. Well, before we get to the question of the day, Scotty, anything you want to talk about in college football or NFL football, or is there anything you want to bring up? Anything you're looking forward to this weekend?
Yeah, I'm looking forward to
49ers just scored.
let me pull the games up here.
I still gotta put a shot segment on this, so you might have one in there that I haven't put up there yet. So
I mean, North Texas is still.
that's what I talk
about. Yeah, looks like right now the G5 team is probably going to be out of the AAC because you have South Florida, Memphis, and Tulane, and you have UNT hanging in there too. And UNT does play South Florida coming up here in a couple of weeks.
Ooh, that'd be a good one.
So I mean, if they can pull that off and they can win the ACC championship, I mean, there's a slight chance that UNT could make it into the. They'd have to win out and win the ACC championship probably just to but they could possibly make it.
They play this week?
Yeah, I forget who they play. I'm looking right now. Or maybe they don't play this week.
Have a bye week.
Syracuse SMU is gonna be a good one.
Oh yeah, that's gonna be a good one. Yeah.
Oh, Texas Tech and Houston.
Yep. I got
I think
I got to put a shot on that one.
that should be pretty
Yeah.
good.
I
Doesn't
said
look like
I
North
th-
Texas does. Doesn't look like North Texas plays this week.
okay. Okay.
Iowa State, Cincinnati. I think that would be a good one.
Oh yeah. You know what, they have Cincinnati favorite. I don't know if you know that or not.
Yeah, they do.
My
Probably
mom's
because it's at Cincinnati.
yeah. My mom said hi, Scotty. She's a little late with that, but she said hi.
Hello.
Yep.
Yeah, that's about all I have. I think I think the G5 team in the playoffs will probably come out of the ACC most likely.
All right. Well, let's move on to the question of the day. Question of the day is, what is your favorite thing about fall? Fall just started. We're getting into October now. It's really when it starts feeling like fall to me. We'll come back to that. But what is your favorite thing about fall? The fall season, not you falling down. I know that's what you were thinking about, Scotty. I know you.
No.
But we'll come back to that. It's time for important dates. First things, college football playoff starts December 19th through the 20th. That's just round one. They have bowl games in between that. But like I said, we won't talk about that till it gets to that season, that time of the year. Trade down for the NFL is November 4th. That's a Tuesday at 3 p.m. So teams are looking to There is speculations that Cowboys might be going after Crosby from the Raiders. He's already announced he's on the board of asking for a trade, and he's also said if he does get traded, he wants to come to the Cowboys. So that's the
Yeah,
only team he wants to. Go ahead.
there is some whispers about possibly Odell Beckham saying he wants to go back to the Giants, but since Neighbors is
Hurt.
going to be out, but
Yeah.
there's some rumors going around, but
Giants
nothing.
picked up somebody though. I saw that they picked up somebody. I can't remember who it was since Neighbor went down. It wasn't no big name, but they just said I saw they picked a receiver up.
Mm,
So,
they got a new kicker too.
did they?
Yeah, because their kicker's been out.
Damn.
They had
NBA.
the same.
Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I was gonna say they had that same issue last year. That one game they couldn't kick any. They had to go for 2-point conversions every
Yeah,
time they scored because they
um,
had to go for it on fourth downs because they didn't have a kicker.
I remember that. NBA starts October 21st. Rockets versus Thunder. The Mavs play the Spurs October 22nd, 8:30. October 22nd. Did I say that right? At 8:30. I don't know why it's a late game, but yeah, it's here as well. So yeah, I don't know why it's a late game, but it is. They probably got a game before that on the TV, so that should be a really good matchup. I'm excited. Mavs do start their preseason on Monday, so y'all want to watch the Mavs. Like I said, Gafford at the beginning of this episode today, I said Gafford is going to be out for 2 to 3 weeks, but like I said, they don't play till the 22nd, so he should be back when the season starts. NHL news or dates. NHL starts October 7th, which is next week. Blackhawks versus Panthers. The Stars don't play until October 9th against the Jets at 7 o'clock. Whoop, whoop. It says it's on ESPN Plus. Don't trust that because every time I get on ESPN Plus, it always says blackout. Victory app. Download the Victory app. You'll be able to watch the Stars game for free. So get that app when you get the opportunity. All right, time to go back to question of the day. What do you like? What's your favorite thing about the fall? My favorite thing is, besides football season, of course, that's the obvious. It's just the cooler weather. The cooler weather, I work in a warehouse, so it's hot. So once the weather starts cooling off, you're just like, I don't like winter because it's cold. I don't like cold. What about you, Scotty?
Yeah, I don't like same. I don't. I like the weather. Starts cooling off. Like I said, I don't like the cold either. I'll take summer
Yeah, for
over winter, even though I grew up up north.
sure. So,
Um, yeah, just the football weather.
oh yeah, and there's times you'll walk outside and you just feel like, oh, this is football weather right here. It feels so good.
Oh yeah.
So, But, yep. But moving right along, Scotty. Oh, it's time for the last word. You got anything else, Scotty, before we?
No, I think that's all I have.
Oh, wrong thing. All right, time for the last word. We're still at 54 of 100 subs. I got to do a better job of getting the word out there. That's on me. Next show will be Tuesday. Join us where we'll be updating what we watched last week. Scotty's going to have his players of the week. Are you going to be? Yeah, you're on this week.
Yeah.
Scotty's going to have the players of this week. We're going to talk again all the games that happen, NFL. Any games that y'all ever want to talk about, let us know in the chat. We'll gladly talk about it. At least I know I will. Scott will laugh
Oh
about
yeah.
it. Now,
Hopefully, hopefully Giants will be
what's their record right now?
1-3.
1-3. Well, maybe they could be 2-3 against New Orleans.
Yeah. They play the Saints, so
Yeah.
they have a shot.
NBA starts in 18 days. So that's right around the corner. Stars play in 6 days, so less than a week. Stars will be playing. Well, actually next Thursday. Whoa, what happened here? Hold them up. My computer just went black. My mouse is still there. I'm still live. I'm still going. You can hear me, right, Scotty?
Yeah, I hear you.
Yeah. I don't know why that happened. It just went black.
Huh.
So, but I got it going again. It has to do something with the whatever I'm doing. Stars play in 6 days. And last but not least, my wife's birthday's coming up. Happy birthday, babe. Love you. Hope you enjoy. I'm not gonna say your age, but I hope you enjoy your birthday. Love you.
We got
You said what, Scott?
college basketball starts up in looks like November 3rd, I think.
November 3rd. A month away.
Yep.
So, but that's all I got. Anybody else got anything to say out there? Scott, you got anything to say before we head out?
No, that's about all I have.
All right. I appreciate y'all being here today. Scotty, I appreciate you being here. Don't forget safety first, then teamwork. And if you're out there drinking, don't drink and drive. Make sure you stop, drink, then drive. So have a good evening, Scotty.
All right, see ya.
Bye.